What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Fanatic Journey. So once again, I am asking myself that same question. What is going on? So I'm going to break it down for you what exactly is going on. A lot of the different risks out there that's all affecting Lucid all at once. And I'm going to talk about some positives out of everything. But before getting to any of that, all I ask, smash the thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, I do daily videos on trending stocks, crypto, I do it all. So make sure you do subscribe. And despite the massive red day, take advantage of this massive promo. It's only for March. Just by clicking on the link and signing up, you get one free stock valued up to $3,500. Deposit just $1, you get one share of NEO and one additional stock valued up to $3,500. Amazing deal. Take advantage of this. Link is in the description below. With that, let's get right to it. So looking at this intraday chart, what positive things can I say about this? Well, technically we had a very epic bounce from the beginning. That was very positive. That's one good takeaway from today. Unfortunately, that might be the only positive. And you can see, unfortunately, it's just going down with the broader market. Looking at the major indexes is very much red. NASDAQ down roughly about 2%. And like I said, there is a lot of different things all happening at once. But regardless, we are actually at a very pivotal point. And it does look like we're bouncing off of that, which ultimately is going to benefit what I'm about to say. But like I said, there's a lot of positives, one of which is this. Technically, over the last week, Lucid was number 8 as far as the most bought securities. So it definitely shows that there is a underlying demand among retail investors for Lucid, and that definitely does show that there is a lot of value sought in a lot of retail investors in Lucid. So that's one thing, one good takeaway from over the last week. So before I go over the looming amount of risks and fears that is with Lucid, just want to go over the live ticker to my left, currently down roughly about 5.5%. The volume is 15.2 million, average is 55, 1.2 million shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds just today alone within the first about 3 hours midway through the day. And you can tell that based on the block volume. So today is a very much red day, but a lot of optimism, a lot of great buying opportunities. That's in my own personal opinion. But getting right to it though, there is a lot of risks. I'm sure you've seen my last couple of videos. We all know March 16th on this coming Wednesday, the Fed's going to make a decision on the interest rates in addition to Russia. So both of those points aren't really necessarily news for us. One factor about Russia though that is relatively new for us as investors to be aware of is BlackRock and other institutions, which right now we know Lucid in particular has a huge institutional presence. So BlackRock alone since February has lost 17 billion due to Russian exposure, and the rest of the Western banks are technically owed 121 billion by Russian entities, which again, depending on how much is escalated or whatnot, they may not get that 121 billion back. So a lot of institutions are suffering big time, as are retail investors. And when it comes down to it, there is a new risk that is starting to form. I did do a tweet jokingly last week that technically China was starting to bring up COVID again. And when it comes down to it, it looks like they are actually real. So this was posted by John, and it does look like there is going to be fresh lockdowns in China. So we are going back. And I even commented, what is this? Is this COVID 2.0, 3.0? Like, honestly, it feels like this cannot get worse as far as an investor. So now we're getting COVID being brought back on us. And to make things worse, does even look like Foxconn is halting operations. So it does show that something is in the water again, more so with COVID. So we are going to be getting hit with interest rates, with COVID and Russia all at once. So this is going to be a very interesting time for investors. And like you guys have already possibly known from my live streams, I've always said I started investing in 2009. I've gone through some blips in here and there, but this definitely beats everything. This definitely feels like you're getting punched all the time. As soon as you hit the buy button, you regret it. And this is one interesting time where a lot of value stocks are coming out and there is very little bounce, which is very hard on a lot of retail investors. So those are some factors that's dictating where things are going. So I'm just going to do a little bit more technical analysis. So right now, the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. So looking at momentum, it has been constant, and so that's very positive. Again, going back to this, a lot of individuals and retail investors are buying in. So normally a lot of other growth stocks have just been going down. So a lot of momentum has been dipping big time. Stochastic, there is now a deviation, so red line above the black, showing a little bit more of a bearish sentiment. And RSI is oversold at 36. And looking on the actual chart, we are at the lower percent of the Bollinger Band. And looking at this, 2172 is exactly where we are. We technically are flirting with the S2 support point right now. And more specifically, we did actually break it briefly. And even in previous videos, I did say that we would bounce off of the S2 most likely, and that does look to be the case. So even looking more on the intraday chart, going back to this, like I already said, we did bounce exactly off of the S2. So we're trending a little bit higher. Whether we actually test it again, that will be, who knows, when we have a couple more hours in the trading day. But this is a big deal. And typically Lucid has always held its S2, whereas other growth stocks, they are currently trading between the S3 and the S2. So Lucid, out of everything, I know it's not the best time to say it when we are down roughly about 5%, but we are doing fairly well in comparison to a lot of other growth stocks. That is one good takeaway. Like I said, there's not much optimism today, but so you kind of have to take it how you see that and think long term. I keep saying that, especially on very much red days, it's very testing on a lot of individuals and retail investors. So days like this, you need to take a step back, have a drink, relax, do whatever you need to do. Unless your actual due diligence and your research has changed when it comes down to Lucid, then fundamentally there's no reason to sell. That's in my opinion how I see things. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence. And even more so, there is a lot of companies that's not really fazed by all of this. And looking at the recent news as well, when it comes down to Ford, they are going to be introducing 3 new electric passenger vehicles and 4 new electric commercial vehicles in Europe by 2024. So they are definitely taking EV to the next level, which is very good. A lot of people do realize that EV in Europe is going to be a very big deal and is a huge untapped market in my own personal opinion. This is why I'm very excited that Lucid is going there, and this is why, hands down, like I said, nothing fundamentally has changed. They push the gravity back and some other things based on their earnings, but they are still doing Europe, and that is a very big takeaway. One really good aspect that I do like. With all that said though, let me know your thoughts on Lucid in the comments below. If you haven't, don't forget to smash the thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. And again, despite the red day, don't forget to take advantage of this promo. Might as well take free shares, especially given the circumstances, especially if brokers want to give it to you. But with all that said, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.